So in this session, we will start with the functions.
Yes, teacher.
So in the Python, there are very important concept, which is known as functions. Now, what are functions? Functions is like a block of code which only runs when it is called, or we can say which when it is run, or it is executed when we call the function. For example, let's say we can write it is just a block of code. And why do we use functions? Like, what is the purpose of functions? In the functions, it is like mainly for avoiding the repeatable code. That is why we use functions. For example, let's say I wanted to sum numbers. Let's say I wanted to sum uh, print 2 plus 4. So I wanted to sum the numbers. Now, each time I wanted to sum, I wanted to use the different numbers. Or let's say I wanted to use any complex mathematical formula or anything. So in that case, I use a function. Function is like a block of code which we create and then we call whenever we need them. Otherwise, we don't call. Okay, so let me show you an example of function. So, check the yeah. So let's say now what is the syntax of the function? So here we can write the syntax of the function. Okay, so basically for the function we use def for the define. And then here comes the function name, and then brackets, and then colon, and then enter, and then your block of code. So this is the basic syntax of the functions. So in the Python, we have two types of functions. First, we have this built-in functions, and second, we have this user-defined function. Now, Python has many built-in functions, like the functions which we can take from Python and then we can use it. For example, print. Print is a Python function. We have this many functions like we have print, we have input, and etc. Range, and so on. So we have many functions in Python. But we have also custom functions, like the functions which we can create by ourselves. That is known as user-defined function. Okay, so we will going to see first the user-defined function and then rest we will see the built-in functions. So the user-defined function, we have two processes, or we can say two steps of creating a function. First is defining a function. Defining a function means creating a function. And second, calling a function. Okay, so let me show you an example. Let's say I wanted to create a function. Let's say def. Let's say my function name would be func. Okay, function func. And let's say I just wanted to print hello world. Okay, so this is my function. This is def means define, function name, and then colon. And then this is my block of code, which is hello world. So the purpose of this function is to print hello world. Okay, so let me save this file. See. Okay, now see, whenever I run this function, this will not print anything. See, there's no output here. Why
Mm-hmm.
there's no output? Because we are not calling the function, we are defining. So defining the function is not enough. It is calling also. So once you call the function, then only you can see the output on your screen. For example, if I if I call this function, okay, so this is defining the function. How to call it? Here it is calling the function. So for calling the function, you just mention the function name, which is function, like this. Sorry, fun C. This is my function name. Now here I'm calling the function as well. And if I run this one, you will see hello world. Okay,
Mm,
now you can see the difference. First we have defined the function. Okay, so if I
mhm,
remove this one, this part, so defining the function is not enough. Defining the function is like you can think of you have just created a function. Now, when you wanted to use the function, then you call your function. Okay. Then here I'm calling my function. And how you call a function? Why its name. So I have mentioned the name of this function and then brackets. And if I run this one, you will see the output on your screen, which is hello world. Okay. So this is how we call and define a function. It is a very simple example. We will move to a complex example. Okay. Now let's take one more example of a function. Let's say I wanted to create a function for adding numbers. Okay. So let's say I write def add underscore numbers. This is my function name. Okay. Now let's say I wanted to add print 2 plus 4. These are the numbers I wanted to add. 2 plus 4. Okay. Now if I run this one, you can see there's no output here. Why there's no output? Because we are
no
defining the
calling.
function and not calling.
Mhm,
Right. So once I call the function, which is add underscore number, then you will see the output here. 4 plus 2, 6. Okay.
mhm,
Now you can call your function as many times as you want. For example, I wanted to call again. Okay. So if I save it, you will see output here. Second 6. Let's say I wanted to call again. Third time. So here we can see 6. So you can call your function as many times as you want. It means, see, previously you can see the difference now. If I run this line of code, print 2 plus 4. Okay. So what is the output of 2 plus 4? 6 here. So now you can see the difference. Here, I just wanted to run this line of code. But for printing again, I wanted to run this line of code whole, which means
mhm,
I'm avoiding the repetition. Okay, if I run this one, let's say I wanted to print 6 3 times. So I have to copy this one and then I have to run this line. So this will print 6 3 times. The same code is the same output is presenting with the help of this function. We are adding and then we are calling, just simply calling the name of the function and then we are printing 6 3 times. Okay. So you can see it is not compulsory to keep on writing the code again and again. For example, here we are writing the code 3 times, one time, second time, or 3 times, just to print 6 3 times. But here we are just printing 6 by just calling the function name. We are writing one time but calling 3 times. So this
mhm.
is function name. Okay, like by using the function name, we can call def. Is it clear somewhat?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Now let's take one more example. Let's say I wanted to add different numbers. Okay, let's say I wanted to add first, I wanted to add 4 plus 3. Second, I wanted to add 5 plus 6. Third, I wanted to add 7 plus 8. Let's say these numbers. So, how do I add numbers here? Okay, what in the traditional programming, I have to write print here first and then add here. Same as I
Mhm,
have to write print here and then add here, like this, and so on. So here I have to rewrite code again and again. But with the help of functions, we can do this very easily. How? See, let me. Now let's say I wanted to add numbers again. So, but here I have to use different values. And different values means, let's say I wanted to define values when we call the function. For example, here this def add, let's say function name add underscore num. Okay, this is my function name. And now I wanted to print, let's say numbers. Now here I wanted to use different numbers every time. So I will use here a plus b. Let's say my number 1 is a, number 2 is b. Now where I have to define this number because these are undefined. I can define here a comma b. Okay, now here I have defined numbers a comma b. A contains some number, b contains some number. Okay. So here, these are known as parameters. These are known as function parameters. A and B are known as parameter. Okay. Now you will see when I run this one, you will see no output because we have to call the function. Now, if I call the function add underscore now, you will see a error here. Okay, error says add number, which is a function name, missing two required arguments, which means here we have provided two parameters. Now they want values or argument. So here we have to provide numbers. Let's say 4, 5. Now 4 belongs to A, 5 belongs to B, and 4, 5 are known as arguments. Now if I run this one, you will see 4 plus 5, 9, 8. Now every time I wanted to call, I can use a different number. For example, now I want to call again, but I wanted to use 2, 3. Let's say I wanted to call again. Here I can use different values. Let's say 99, 100. So you can see here, every time I'm calling my function, I'm just changing the value of A plus B, A comma B. And if I run this one, you will see different output. Okay, this is 2 plus 3. This is 99 plus 100, like this one. So these are known as argument. If you are providing 3 arguments here, same as plus 3. So you have to provide 3 numbers here, which means your parameters should be equal to the arguments. Okay, here if I run this one, you will see error here. You can see it is asking for the missing one required argument C, because 4 is for A, 5 for B, and where is C? So you have to provide one more argument. Okay, like any number. So here we are providing 3 parameters, same as 3 arguments. So the parameters are equal, should be equal to the arguments. If I run this one, you will see 5 plus something, 4 plus 1, 2 plus 3 plus 6, and 99 plus 100 plus 101. 300. Okay, now you can see the like reusability of the function. Function are mainly for reusable. Now this is a very simple example. Let's say you are creating a complex piece of code, very complex. Then you can keep that inside a function, and whenever you wanted to use it, you can call it with different values. Here I am calling the function with different values. Okay, 236, 99, and I can extend it. Okay, so it is scalable. Scalable means we can extend at any number, at any given value. For example, I can extend to E, D, E, F, and so on. So I can create any number of, I can put any number of parameters here, same as with the values. So I can extend the function very easily. Same as I can reuse this function, this piece of code again and again when calling the function name and its value. So this one, ABC, this is known as parameter. You can see it is same as here, A equal to. Now this A is a kind of a variable, right? 2 is a value. So we are assigning 2 value to A. You can think of this A is a variable of the function and 4 is a value of this value A. 5 is a value of variable B. But we cannot say they are variable, they are parameters. Okay, they have the special name, they are known as parameter. Okay, let's see a different example. This is for the numbers. You can pass anything. You can pass list, you can pass string, you can pass tuple, dictionary, set, anything you can pass. For example, let's say I wanted to print my name, or let's say the name of the user. So let's say I just wanted to create a function with name. Name is my function name. Here I just ask first name. This is my parameter. I wanted to ask last name. So first name and last name is my parameters. Let's say I just wanted to print the first name is, here I can use a formatting here for F. Okay. First name and the last name is last name. Here I can fill it with the first name and here I can fill it with the last name. Okay, now if I run this one, you will see no output here because we are defining the function, not calling. Now I wanted to call the function. So I will call using name, and then what is the name here? I can put my name. Let's say I just wanted to put my name, my surname. Okay, so if I run this one, you will see this line of code. Replace with first name as my name, last name as my last name. Okay, so these are parameters, first name, last name, and these are the arguments, first name and this last name. And if I run this one, you will see the first name is this one and the last name is this one. So we are just filling the values with my first name here and the last name here. Okay. Same as, let's say I wanted to call again. Here I wanted to use different name. So I can use name here. I can use different name here. Let's say John. Let's say we can use, I can use a different name here. And if I run this one, you will see second line of code, which is John here, and last name is Derek here.
Mhm.
So this is known as functions. And here this is known as functions defining and function calling. Without
Mhm.
function call, your functions are useless. Okay. And you can call it anytime. Let's say you can call it after any piece of code. Let's say I'm writing here a for loop for I in range. Let's say there's a simple for loop here, 1 to 10. Okay, here I'm printing just the value of I. Okay, so you can call your function anytime you want. Here I can call it, let's say name is, comma, like this one. If I run this one, you will see 1 to 9 and the function name here, like function code here. So you can call it anytime you want. It doesn't mean that you are calling after the function defining. You can call it whenever you want. You can call it inside for loop. You can call it inside functions. Yeah, you can use functions inside functions. You can call it any way you want. So it is like so flexible. You can change it from here and you can call it as many times as you want. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher. Wow.
Okay. Now, I just wanted to show the difference in two functions here. On this was. So here we have two keywords which are very important for the functions. First is print, which we were using for a very long time. Second is return. Okay, now let me show you the difference in the print and return. They are doing the same thing. Print is displaying something, returning is also it will display, but in a different way. For example, let's say if I create a function here to add underscore number. Here I'm asking for the A, B. Okay, and here I'm just using A plus B. Okay, now here I'm using return instead of A plus, sorry, print. Okay, return. So see, if I run this one, if I use add underscore number, and if I put two numbers here, 4 comma 5, you will see here, again, no output here. Why?
Mm.
This time we are calling also. Here I am providing numbers also. So what is the issue here? The issue is with the return here. Now, return is a keyword which is mainly for returning the values. Okay, let's say you are performing any mathematical operation, you're performing any kind of operation which required parameters like this one. Okay, then in that case, you use return. Return is mainly for returning your value. Let's say you are printing here, you are adding numbers. Okay, you have provided 4 plus 5. Now, what is 4 plus 5? 9. So you are adding numbers. 4 plus 5. Now, in adding numbers, you want the function to return your output. So if you are adding something, you want 9 should be returned by a function. So that is why we use return A plus B. If you are using return here, then here you have to use print. Before function name, you have to use print here, like this one. Now it will show you the output 9 here. See 9.
Mm.
So let me show you the difference. Previously, we were using, let's say A, comma B. Let's say C, comma D, any number, any parameter. We can also print like this. Okay, and here we are calling the function and then 4 comma 5. Now you can see the difference. This is the function with the return and this is the function without return.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because here we are using return and here we are using print here. So whenever you are using return inside a function, you have to use print when calling your function name. Okay, when calling a function name, you have to use print here, like this one. And whenever you are using print inside a function, you don't need to use print here in the function calling.
Mm-hmm.
Same, both will give you the same answer, 9, 9. Okay, but functions are different. This function and this function is different. Basically, they are doing the same operation, addition, but in a different mechanism. One is returning your value, second is printing your values. So now what is the difference? They are showing the same output. What is the difference? The difference is in the mechanism of the Python. Okay, like the mechanism of these different functions here. First is return, second is print. Print can also, you can think of, let's say you are writing a very complex program, very complex. So when you use print inside a function, print can hide your value either, or it can also skip your value. There's a chance. There's a chance that print will not return your value. Okay, let's say you are returning any error code, you are returning anything that we will discuss later. Sometimes print will not come handy in that case. So that is why in place of print, we use return inside a function to returning the value. Now here I am saying that I wanted to add a plus b and return the value of a plus b, which means a plus b, let's say 4 plus 5 is 9, and then return the value of 9 after adding. That is the meaning of return. So whenever you are using return, that is returning a value. So returning a value is not enough. You have to print your value as well. So that is why I'm using print here, name of my function and numbers here, 4 comma 5. So always use return instead of print. Okay. Here also, I have used print here, but if you're using print inside a function, it is not compulsory to use print here. Okay, because we have already used print inside a function. That is why we are not using print here. But here, we are not using print inside the function. So we have to use print outside of the function, which is when calling the function. So you can see the difference here. So always use print here, sorry, return here inside a function. Return is always, it is like a mechanism built for functions only. So we will going to use return inside the function define, not print. Is it clear the difference?
Yes, teacher. But when do we need again the return only teacher again for the for the program again teacher? If I
You can
don't
use
like if you
always.
don't, yes. Huh?
Okay. So whenever you are defining a function, always use return. Whenever you want to return any value, let's say you are performing any mathematical operation. So how you perform a mathematical operation? You are giving two numbers, A and B, right? You are providing two numbers to the Python, A and B.
Mm.
Now you are expecting from Python to give the answer, which means you want Python to return another number, right? You are giving number. Let's say here you are giving A plus B, A and B. Now you are expecting Python to give the output. Okay, which means you want the Python to add numbers and give the output. So in that case, you use return. So let me write here. We use return when we expect an output from the Python, from the
Mm.
function main. Here I'm adding numbers, A plus B. So I'm providing two numbers first, A and B. Now I'm expecting answer from A and B from the function, which is adding numbers. I want A plus B. So I'm expecting the 9. Okay, which is 4 plus 5, 9. So in that case, I use return here. Return we always use. There's no exception that we use return. Okay, that we not use return. Return we use every time. Whenever you are using a function, you have to use return every time. So just make sure whenever you are defining a function, use return instead of any other function like print. Okay, let me give another example. Let's say here I wanted to create a, let's say, a calculator. Okay, a simple calculator with the help of function. So what is the calculator? So calculator takes number from the user. Okay. Now here our calculator will be simple. We will take two numbers, number 1 and number 2. And then we will take four signs from the user. Whether user wanted to add or subtract or multiply or divide. Okay, so this is our simple calculator. The calculator will take two numbers and the sign which the user wanted to use. Okay, like addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. So how do we create a calculator? See, I can create a function. Let's say my function name is calculator. Here I will take two numbers, number 1, comma number 2. Then I will take a sign. Okay, sign. Sign is like plus, minus, multiply or divide. Okay. Then I will start a if condition here. Okay, I will use a if condition. If sign is equal to plus. Okay, if the user applies sign as plus, plus is a character here, like a string here, then simply return here number 1 plus number 2, like this one. Then I can use elif here. Elif, if sign is equal to minus, like this one, then simply return minus here, right? Then we can use for the multiply and for the divide. Elif, if sign is equal to the multiply, then return multiplication of numbers. Else, we have last sign which is division. Return divised, like this. Okay, this is my function which is known as calculator. Now let's say I just wanted to run this one. Now here I'm using return here. Return is I am adding numbers, I am subtracting or I am multiplying or whatever I am doing here. I want number in return of these numbers. That is why I'm using return here. For example, I will provide two numbers. Number can be anything. I am providing two numbers. Now, when the Python perform operation on two numbers, it will give me the output. So whenever the Python is giving the output as a number or as anything, I'm expecting the output. So in that case, I want the function to return the output. So what is return? It will return your output here. Okay. For example, if I call the function now, I will call. So
Print.
call means calculator, and then I have to provide three values: number 1, number 2, and sign. Number 1 is let's say 2. Number 2 is 3. Now sign. Is it plus? Is it minus? Let's say plus. Okay. Now if I run this one, you will see no output because we have to print the output. We have to print the output. So if I run this one, you will see 2 plus 3, 5. Because of this signing. 2 plus 3, 5. Here I'm providing number 1. Number 1, 2 goes to number 1, 3 to number 2, and then sign here. What kind of sign you are using? Plus, minus, multiply, divide. Now you can see this plus is a string here. It is not any sign, basically, it is a string. So here I'm checking if this plus if the sign is plus, that is why I'm using a double equal sign to compare the sign here. If the user apply plus, if this plus and this plus are same, then plus it. If here we have the sign and if this sign is minus, then simply minus it. Answer is -1. 2 minus 3 minus 1. If the sign is multiply, simply multiply the number, which is 6 here. 2 into 3, 6. Let's say I wanted to again calculate. I want to call again calculator. Number is, let's say 99, 55. Now here I wanted to, let's say, divide. So I will use divide here. Okay, divide here. So if I run this one, you will see division here, 1.8. Division between 99 and 55 because division is in the else condition. If the sign is not plus, if the sign is not minus, if the sign is not multiply, so what is remaining? Division. So that is why we are using LCM as division. Is it clear? The difference in the
Yes.
return and print and how we can create this function?
Yes, teacher. Clear.
So then we have something known as arbitrary arguments. So let's before that we have something known as default argument. Now what are default argument? Let's say I just wanted to print name here. Okay, let's say name again. Let's say I just wanted to have first name, comma, last name. Okay, then I wanted to print here, or just I can simply return. Okay, I can return first name, comma, last name. Right. Let's say I just wanted to call my function. Function, I just wanted to name my name and my last name. And then I can put here, print here. Okay, to print the values. So you will see my name. Okay, these are my name. Now let's say if I remove this last name from here, okay, now I'm removing my last name. So you will see this will throw the error because here we are giving two parameters, and here I am giving one argument only. So as I said, parameter should be equal to the arguments. So this will throw the error. So what I can do, I can use a concept of default argument. What is a default argument? If I use here equal sign, and if I define my name here, okay, let's check. So this is my first name. The value of first name is Bhavya. Value of last name is already defined in my function. So now it is not compulsory to define here. If I run this one, you will again see Bhavya Jain without any error. So this is known as
Mm.
default argument. So whenever you are providing any default argument, you are expecting the user to skip that value. Like the user can also skip the value. That is known as default argument. Here I am providing my first name and my last name. Now, the last name is optional here. Here I am providing a default name here. If the user doesn't apply anything, so fill that particular part with the gen, with this point here, with this last name here. For example, I'm calling the function again. Here I just wanted to call, let's say, any other name. Let's say any other name. Okay, if I run this one, you can see it is my first name, okay, the second first name, and then it is already filled with J, which is the last name. Okay, so this is the like example of it.
Mm-hmm.
We can say the default argument. Let's say I just wanted to now here I wanted to use a different last name, but last name is default here. So what I can do, I can let's say I have some other name. Let's say John. Now I just wanted to use a different last name. So I can put here. Okay, I can put here. Tet. Now this last name will be override this name. So now output
Mm.
will be John Derrick. You can see John Derrick. Previously we are having output Jen here, but here we are
Mm.
having output Derrick. Derrick is like it is overriding this name here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if the user is mentioning anything, let's say this one, any name, so it will print as it is. But if the user is not putting anything, so this
Mm-hmm.
default argument will take this name here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we can do the same with the help of first name also. We can put here my name. Okay, so let's say I'm removing this one. So my if I remove this one also, so there's no issue because why there's no issue? Because my first name is already defined, my last name is already defined. So it is not
Mm-hmm.
compulsory to define here. So if I'm not defining anything here, if I'm not putting anything here, my function will take this one and this one as a default
Mm-hmm.
arguments. If I run this one, you will notice default arguments. And if you're providing something, let's say I'm providing a first name here. So this first name will override this first name. So that is why
Mm-hmm.
we have this Aryan in second name. Okay. Same as I can override the first name and the last name as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can see we have seen the all the possibilities. If we have no name, if we have no argument, if we have one argument, or if we have both the arguments. It doesn't matter. You will not going to have any error because here we have provided the default arguments. Is it
Mhm.
clear?
Yes, teacher, clear. That's the default.
Let's take another example of this default argument. Let's say here we have this function name as info. In the info, we have this, let's say name again, first name, and then age. Now here I'm just providing a default age, let's say 35, let's say. Okay, now I can use here, I can return, or I can also use print here. Okay, because I am not performing a mathematical operation here. I'm just printing something. So in that case, you can use print. So whenever you are not performing any kind of operation, then you can use print. But whenever you are performing any mathematical operation or any kind of other operation like string operation, list operation, then in that case, you can use return. But here I'm not performing any operation. I just wanted to print. So I can use the formatting here, which is F. So the first name, or just we can say, uh, your first name is, here with this first name, comma, and your age is with this age. Okay, now I can call my function. How I can call? I can use info here. Okay, info, here I can call my function. Let's say function value is John. First name is John here, and I'm not providing any value of age because it is default. So it is not compulsory to provide here. So if I run this one, you will see your first name is John and your age is 35. So here I'm not using print either because print I have used inside the function. So it is not compulsory to use print here. Okay, and secondly, I am not using any age here because age is a default parameter. So it is not compulsory to put as an argument. Let's say if I am put age here is, let's say 45. Okay, now this age is not a default age. It is the age provided by the user, 45. So now this age will override the previous age, which is default age. Default was 35, but I have added another value, which is 45. So it is my current age. Okay, current age of John. So this is like how you can use default arguments. They are like very helpful in case if a user
Mhm.
is not putting anything or forget to put any value. So instead of having the error, we can just use default arguments. Okay. Now, why it is known as argument? Because 45 is an argument here. John is an argument. The same argument we are providing here. 35 is an argument. Okay, which means value of your parameter. So age, first name is a parameter, 35 is argument. So that is why it is known as default argument.
Mhm.
Okay. So then we have this concept of arbitrary arguments, which is known as args. Okay, args, which is arguments. Now, let's say you are writing something. Let's take an example. With the help of this example, we will understand this concept. Let's say we have this fruits here. Okay, fruits. I wanted to print name of the fruits, names. Okay, and I can print names here. Simple. So if I wanted to print, let's say if I'm calling my function fruits, if I'm calling my function fruits, let's say my fruit is, let's say cherry. Okay, so this will print cherry, right? Let's say I wanted to again apply another name, let's say apple. Now this will throw the error. Okay, this will throw the error because here we are providing two names. But in the function, here we are like expecting one name only. Here we are all, we just want, we are using one parameter. One parameter is names. But here we are providing two arguments. Two arguments. And as I said, arguments and parameters should be equal. Okay,
Mhm.
if we are providing one parameter, we can use one argument only. But I'm using two arguments. So that is why it is giving me the error. Let's say you are writing a list of fruits and you want multiple fruits and you're not sure how many fruits the user can apply. How many fruits the user can apply here. Let's say I can also use another name of the fruits. So you are not sure, whenever you are not sure that how many arguments the user can use. So in that case, you can use arbitrary arguments. What is arbitrary arguments? Here you can put a sign here. So this sign says that whatever comes inside this bracket, take everything. This sign means take everything. So
Mm-hmm.
now if I run this one, you will see no error here. You can see cherry, apple, grapes here. Okay, cherry, apple, grapes. Previously, we are having the output, we are having the error because of this single name here. But
Mm-hmm.
when I put this sign says take everything, whatever the user is applying. If the user applying 100 arguments, take everything. If user is applying 50 arguments, take everything. Okay, don't skip any value. So here I'm providing one parameter, but I'm expecting 150 arguments because of this sign only. This sign
Mm-hmm.
means take everything with you. Okay, take everything, whatever the user is applying. If I remove this one, you will see the error again because here we are providing one parameter but three arguments. Okay, three arguments. If I run this one, you can see error here. You can see error is one position argument but three were giving. So this function is expecting one argument but we are providing three here. One argument because of this one parameter. So this is not possible until we apply this asterisk sign, which means take everything, whatever is in the argument session.
Mm-hmm.
So if I run this one, there's no output here. You can see apple, cherry, banana. Now here you can put as many as argument here, as many as argument. Let's say you can put A, you can put again B, or as many as argument here. C. Even you can put numbers here, 1, 2, 3. So you can put as many as arguments as you wish. Okay, so no error here. So this arbitrary arguments, which means if we are providing one parameter, then in that case we can expect multiple arguments here, which means you can put multiple arguments with one parameter with the help of this sign. So we
Mm-hmm.
use arbitrary arguments when we are not sure how many arguments the user can apply. Okay, let's say you are creating a function for the list of fruits. Okay, then you are not sure how many fruits the user can purchase. So in that case, you can use this sign here, all. Asterisk, which means all. Take everything with you. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
So this is known as arbitrary arguments or we can say args.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another concept similar to the arbitrary arguments, which is keyword arguments. We have this keyword arguments, which is known as quarks, which is KWARGS. Now it is similar, but the difference is, let me show you. Let's say I have this function. Let's say function name is children. Okay. Here we are taking parameter kids. Kids. Okay, now let's say I just wanted to print. Let's say I can use the first name is, let's say, here I can provide a bracket here. And the first kid, let's say, kid is this one. And the second kid is this one. Here I can use a formatting sign. Okay. Now see, I have this value kids here. Let's say I'm just providing kid number one. Kids number one. Because the kids here. And I'm providing kids number second. Okay. Now I'm just calling my function here. Okay. Or in place of kids, let me use some other name. Let's say first name. Let's say. Here I'm using first name. And here I'm using the kids last name. Okay. Now here I'm just calling my function. Let's say I just wanted to call the function children. Now here in the arbitrary arguments, we can provide any number of arguments. In the keywords arguments, we can provide any number of keywords. For example, I just wanted to use two keywords for the kids. Kids first name and kids last name. Here I can put here first two signs here for the arbitrary keywords, and then here I can use f name equal. I can put first name of the kid, it's John, comma. I can put last name of that kid, which is, let's say, Ted. Okay. Now if I run this one, you will see the first kid is, sorry, I have to use the first name is John and the last name is this one. You can see the first name is John and the last name is Derek. Now what we are doing here, see, here I'm providing again a parameter, here a single parameter kids, but this time the two sign here. This means here we can put any number of keywords as well, like any number of parameter. Previously we were providing only values, fruits values, but here we can also provide the keywords here, like the parameter here. So first parameter is John, second parameter is this one. Let's say I just wanted to use age as well. Age equal 30, let's say. So here I have, it is not compulsory to define age here. It is not compulsory. What we can do is we can define age here. Simply we can use age without defining it. I can use here, let's say, I can put a comma again and the age is, let's say the age is, and this age here, kids of age, like this one. Now you will notice age as well. Yes. Okay, and the age is 13 here. Why? Because I have mentioned the age here, and the age is age of kids. Kids is here. So now what we are doing, we are defining. This is a, you can see this is a level 1 parameter. Okay. It is not a name, level 1. I'm just saying it is a first parameter. Yeah, first parameter. Or we can say the parameters of parameters, like a first parameter. Inside this parameter, I'm using multiple parameters. This is a second parameter, third parameter, fourth parameter inside the first parameter, which is kids. So every time I wanted to use this F name, L name, or any information. Let's say I just wanted to use score here. Score of the kid. Let's say 44. So I can use multiple, I can create multiple parameter here. I can use the location of that particular kid. Let's say the location is USA. Okay, I can use any other information. So you can see it is very easy to use any information. You can just keep on placing your information here and then you can keep on using inside your function. Okay, so it is not compulsory to each time define that particular thing here. So that is like, that is known as keywords argument. You can define as many as keywords you want. Keywords are this one, location, score, age. These are known as keywords. And here I'm defining as many as keywords I want with the help of this site. Okay, so every time I wanted to access any keyword, I will use the name of the parameter and the subparameter, which is score. For example, let's say I just wanted to print here the, let's say, the score is, and here I can use kid, sorry, I can use a kids, and their score. Okay, now you will see score. So the score is 44. The score which I have defined here, 44. Okay, and here you can see it is replaced here. Now let's say I wanted to put the information of the second kid. Okay, I can use here, copy it, I can paste it. So now I'm calling my function second time. I'm calling my function second time. Now this time I just wanted to change the name of the kid, which is Lily, let's say. Let's say we can say Jonas. And here I can put a age, let's say 40. Let's say score is 50 or 80, let's say. City or location, let's say any location. eject. Okay, now you can see I'm just calling it the function again, but with different information of the kid. So now you will notice the information of two kids, the information of first kid and the information of second kid. So without doing anything, I just print as many as information of the kids I want. Okay, because my everything is defined here. I can print whatever I wanted to print. I can use any number of keywords here. I can put another value here. Let's say in place of location, I can print address here, any other location, any other, sorry, parameter here. I can put here another parameter. Let's say this another information of the kid. Let's say address. So I can use here address. Let's say Giza, like this. So I can add that information here as well. I can print it. Okay. So that is like the benefit of using keywords argument. You can define as many as keywords you want with a single parameter one. But here you have to use two signs. Okay, and
Mhm.
whenever you wanted to use the keywords, you can just name of your parameter, the first parameter, and under this parameter, your sub parameter. Let's say first name or the last name or anything. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Teacher, clarify, teacher. So if I'm gonna use the what do you call this keywords, is I'm going to use these two asterisks, right, on the
Yeah,
kids.
two asterisks.
That's the pattern of keywords. Okay. And then for the other one is just one asterisk only if I want. Yeah.
Yeah, one asterisk. Is
Hmm.
it clear?
Yes, teacher, clear. Thank you.
So now let's see what kind of other operations we can perform with the help of these are the concepts: keywords
Hmm.
arguments, arbitrary arguments, default arguments, and how we can create functions. We have another concept which is known as local and global variable. Now,
Hmm.
what are local and global variables? So let me show you. Let's say we have this function here to add numbers. Okay, add underscore numbers. Let's say I wanted to add number. Um, let's say I just wanted to add number. I just x plus y. Okay. Now x and y is not defined here. Okay. Now I can define x and y both. Here I can define x equals 5 or 4, 5, and y equals, let's say, 8. So you can see I'm defining the variables x and y inside the function. These are inside the functions. And if I print the function name first, and then I just print just function name, you will see 8 plus 5, 12, sorry, 13 here. Okay, this is simple. Here, these x and y are known as local variable. Now, why local variable? See, x and y are local variables because you can use this x and y only inside the functions, not outside of your function. That is why they are known as local variables. So local variables are the variables which you can use only inside of the function, not outside. Okay, so here I can write local variables are the variables,
So,
local variables are the variables which can only be used inside of the function, inside of the function. And global variables, as you can see, it is opposite. You can use anywhere. Global variables are the variables which can be used anywhere, anywhere in the entire Python code. So that is the difference. Now let me show you an example. Now these are the local variables. So how I can prove it? These are the local variables. Let's say now you can see x value is 5, y value is 8. These are defined variables. So I can also print the value of x, right? I can print because I know the value of x is 5. So I can print x also. But if I print it, you will see the error here. X is not defined. Why? Because x is unknown here. Why unknown? Because x is using inside the function. That is why we can only use this with the function, not outside of the function.
mhm.
Okay, and then print x. This print x is symbol X here, which is not defined. So this X is unknown. This X is unknown for the Python. But if I use X here, let's say X equal 8, let's say 10 here. Now I can print the value of X, which is 10, not 5. So
Mm-hmm.
this is known as global variable. This is known
Okay.
as global variable. Why global variable? Because I can print it anytime I want. I can use it anytime I want. But this X and this X, this X and this X, they are very different. This X
Mm-hmm.
is inside the function, which is add numbers, and this X is outside of your function, which is global variable. X equal 5 is your local variable. Okay, now you can see here, if I remove this one, I cannot use X here. I cannot use this X because this is inside of the function. I cannot use it. I cannot use it outside of the function. It is not usable. But if I can define my own X, this is my own X, which is outside of the function, then I can use it. Now the value of X becomes 10, not 5.
Mm-hmm.
But this value, this one is still 5. This axis is still 5 because whenever I wanted to use add numbers, I will use this 5 only because I'm
Mm-hmm.
using this function add numbers. Inside add numbers, I have X and Y. So
Mm-hmm.
value of X and Y remains 5 and 8 if I'm using inside with the function. Let's say I just wanted to use Y equal 11. I can use print Y. Now value of X and Y are 10 and 11 outside of the function. Okay, these are outside of the function.
Mm-hmm.
But value of this X and Y are 5 and 8 inside of the function. So this X and Y and this X and Y, they are different. One is inside, which is known as local variable, and one is outside, which is known as global variable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I print, you can see 5 plus 8, 13. So when I run this function, you will see the same output, 13 only. Okay, 13. No difference here. Because for my function, X and Y are same only, which is 5 and 8. Okay, if I remove this one, like let's say if I removing this one, then you can see it will throw the error because X and Y are not defined here. I have to use
Mm-hmm.
X and Y. I have to define X and Y. So I can define inside my function 5 and Y equal 8. But again, they are local variables, not global. Okay. Now, for example, let me give another example. Let's say again I wanted to add numbers. Add underscore numbers. Here I just wanted to again add return X plus Y. Okay, now X and Y is again not defined. So I can define outside of the function as well. Before function defining, I can use X comma 5, Y comma 8. Now you can see these are the global variables. So global variables are the variables which we can use anywhere. Anywhere means inside of the function, outside of your function, anywhere in the entire Python. So my entire Python can use X and Y because they are known as global variables. Global means we can use anywhere. So if I print the add underscore number, you will see 5 plus 8, 13 here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am using, these are the global variables because these are defined outside of a function. Okay, outside of a function. That is why. Okay, so these are known as global and local. What we can do is, let's say I have this variable here, x comma 5, y comma 8. Now these are again local variables. Now what if I wanted to create, I wanted to convert local variable into global variable. So what I can do, I can write here global keyword here, global x, and I can write here global y. Now this global x and global y, which is x and y, becomes the global variable even inside the local variable, which is even inside the function. So if I show you, if I print the value of x and if I print the value of y, you can see there's no error here because well, this x becomes the global variable and this y becomes the global variable with the help of this global keyword. So if I run this one, you will see x plus x value is 5, y value is 8 here. Even we can use this outside of the function. This is outside of the function. So we can use outside of the function. If I remove this global x, let's say, now you will see the error here. Error is x is not defined because the x I wanted to use is a local variable. And we cannot use local variable without functions. Okay, or we can say outside function. So this X is not defined, but Y is defined because Y is a global variable. Y is a global variable, but X is not a global variable because X is inside the function. But I can create this X as a global variable. I can write here global X, like this one. Now this one is a global variable. Okay, now X becomes the global variable, same as Y becomes the global variables. So this is
Mm-hmm.
this is how we can create global variables inside of the function. Is it clear, the difference?
Yes, teacher, it's clear. That's good.
Okay. Now let's say there's another option, another statement, which is pass statement. Let's say I just wanted to create a function and numbers, or let's say function func. Now here I'm not sure what I have to put here. Okay, I'm not sure. I just wanted to create this function and I will use it later. Or I will create it or I will complete it later. So in that case, I can use pass here. Okay, if I run this one, you will see no output here. No output. Because pass is like do nothing. If I remove this pass, now it will throw the error. Because you cannot leave your function empty. Okay, it will give the error. You cannot leave your function empty. So if you want to put, if you don't want to put anything, then you can use pass here. Pass is
Mm-hmm.
just like you can complete this function later on. Okay, let's say you wanted to write something else. Let's say you wanted to write for loop, while loop, everything you wanted to write, but you don't know what to do, what to write inside this function. So in that case, you can use pass. Pass means do nothing, and pass means I will fill it later on. Okay, when I know what I have to put, I can fill it later on. That is pass here. So pass is like when you have no clue like what you have to put, you can use pass. Okay, but you cannot leave your function empty. This will throw the error. That is why we can use pass here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now let's do some questions. Okay, now the question is create a function which will tell if the number is even or odd. Okay. Now here we have already see how we can use even or odd, how we can create function which which will take a number as an input and tell if this number is even or odd. But this time we have to do with the help of functions. So let's create a function even or function A. Then this function will take a number one, let's say. Okay. Then I can use a if condition here or else condition. If number one modulus 2 equal 0, then simply return even. Else, simply return odd. Okay, this is my function. Now, let's say I just wanted to ask this number from the user. So I can simply put number equal. Okay, I can use int input, enter the number. Okay, now what I can do, I can call the function even odd. Okay, and here I can provide the value. Now, number one is asking for the number one is a parameter here. Now, parameter asks for the argument. Okay, here we have to put an argument here. Now, what is argument? Argument is the number which will apply by the user, which is enter by the user, which is num. So here we can simply put num here, or let's say number here. Let me change this to number to avoid confusion. So number is the number which we apply, which will apply by the user. Okay. So if I run this one, you will see. Let me run this in a different way. File name is my file name is function. Okay. Now it is asking for the number. Let's say number is 4. You can see even number. Simple. Let's say number is 7. Odd number. Simple. Here we are just creating a function with the help of def. This is my function name. And I'm asking for a number. Number is a parameter here. Then I'm just checking if that number is even or odd with the help of if else statement. In the function, inside function, you can apply anything. You can use if condition, else condition, elif condition, for loop, while loop, functions inside functions, etc. So you can do anything here. Then here we have
Mhm.
this number. Now I just wanted to ask number from the user. So I've created another variable number, and here I'm asking the number from the user. Let's say the user put number 4. And here I'm just calling my function and number, replacing it with the number. What is number here? Number is the number entered by the user.
Mhm.
4. So this 4 will be replaced with this one. Okay, so 4 is an argument here. You can also put 4 directly, like this one. 4 directly. This will also work. But what I want to take number from the user. That is why I have to put number here. What is
Mhm.
number? Number is provided by the user. Let's say 4. So 4 will be replaced here. And what is 4? 4 is the argument for the parameter number 1. Okay, and if I run this one, you will see even number. I can run this one in this way. The number is 6. So number is a even. Okay, is it clear? Any questions?
So how about the odd number again, teacher? Okay, can you enter the odd number?
Okay, and numbers. So let's say we wanted to create a function to add numbers. Here I just wanted to take number 1 as a parameter, number 2, let's say.
Mhm.
Okay, now here I just wanted to add number, so I can simply return number 1 plus number 2. Okay, now I just want to take number from the user. So I can use number 1 equal. I can copy this part and paste here. So enter the first number, and here I can use number second. Okay, enter the second number. And here I can call my function print, call your function, which is add number, and then here provide the input here, like arguments here. What are arguments here? Number 1 and number 2. Because these are the numbers provided by the user. So I can use a number 1, comma, number 2. So if I run this one, so let's clear the screen first. Number 1 is 4, number 2 is 4. 4 plus 4, 8 here. Okay, so these are the numbers. Number 1 will be placed in this place. Number 2 will be placed in this place. So what is number 1 and number 2? Number 1 was 4 and 4. So this 4 and 4 will be replaced here. And this 4 and 4 is the argument of number 1 and number 2. You can also use the same variable name. Number 1, you can also use same variable name here. Number 1. Same as number 2. Okay, like this one. And the same you can use here. Number 1 and number 2.
Mhm.
But number 1, number 2 are parameters, and this number and number 1 are variables. And here we are providing the number 1 as an argument, number 2 as an argument, which will replace 4 and 4, whatever the user will enter, and that will go directly in the number 1 and number 2. And then we are adding numbers. Is
Mhm.
it clear? The
Okay.
concept?
So we're not identifying teachers if the number is odd numbers or even numbers at a teacher.
In this program, we are just adding numbers. Okay.
Adding and yes.
In the previous, we were identifying if the number is even or odd.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Thank you, teacher.
Now, we have 2 more concepts left. So let's do that. So one more concept is known as lambda function. Now, what is this lambda? Lambda is a very small and anonymous function. A very small and anonymous function. It is like a very simple function. Let me show you an example. Okay, it is like you can think of a short version of this function. Short version of these functions which we were studying. Let's say I just wanted to add numbers again. Okay, I wanted to add numbers. So I will use a very simple function. Let's say x equal. X is my variable here. Here I will use a lambda here. And then a comma b. And then I just use a plus b. That's it. This is my function for adding numbers. If I print here, now I have to call my function name, which is x here, and then values. Let's say 4 comma 5. 4 comma 5 are my values. 4 plus 5, 9 here. You will see 9. So you can see this is known as lambda function. Now let me show you the difference in this one and the previous one which we were studying. So in the previous function, we are doing this thing. Number one, comma, number two, and then we are returning the number one plus number two, right? This is what we were doing. And then we are calling the function, which is print, add number, and number 4, 5. Okay, now you can see this one and this one are same only. This one and this one are same. Now, why they are same? Because of the lambda function. Now you can
Mm,
start replacing. This add number is a function name. Same as you can think of this x as a function name here. Okay, now x is function name. So you can replace this x here. This x is a function name. So add number here we have this function name, same as we have this add number. X is a function name. Basically, x is a variable here, but it is acting as a function name. Then we are using lambda. Lambda is a keyword for the Python, but it is a small function. Now this lambda taking two parameter. A and B are parameter here. Same as number one and number two are parameter. A and B are parameter here. Now what kind of operation this A and B perform? Plus. Same as here we are adding numbers. Okay, with the help of this semicolon, we are just separating parameter and this like operation here. And then we are calling. So we are using print here, print here. Instead of x here, we are using function name, same as we are using x here. And then similar 4 comma 5, 4 comma 5 like this. So you can see this is a small anonymous function. They are useful when you have a very small operation to perform. They are not always helpful. Remember, they are not always helpful. They are only useful whenever you have very small function. Okay, like for
mhm,
example, adding numbers, doing any particular task, but very small task, not a very complex task. Then we use lambda. Let's say you have a let's say you wanted to use function inside function. Then in that case, you can use lambda inside your function. In that case, we use lambda. Lambda is mainly for a very specific scenario whenever your function is not so much of complex and you can just end it in one line. For example, here. Let's take another example. Let's say I just wanted to check if a number is even or odd. So I can use even underscore odd. This is my function name. Here I can use lambda. Lambda, it will take a number one. It will take a number and then it will check if number one modulus 2 equal 0, then number is even. Okay. So what we can do, we can simply print even odd and then we can apply a number. Let's say 4. Number 4 is an even number. Okay. So you can see true here because number
mm,
4 is an even number. If I put here number 7, number 7 is an odd number. So it will return false. Okay, a very simple function. Not doing anything, just checking the condition here. Now this function and the previous function which we have created here, even odd, they are absolutely same. Okay, they are same only. In the
mhm,
previous function, we are also checking for the odd, but here we are checking for the even. Here also we are checking for the even and odd. If the answer is false, the number is odd. If the answer is true, the number is even, right? So this is
mhm,
same as the previous function, like this one. So here we are
mhm,
using this lambda keyword. Lambda, it is asking for one number, and then we are checking the condition with the help of that number. Number, if it is even, if it is even, then return true, otherwise false. And then we are calling the number, sorry, function with the help of the variable only. And then calling the function is same only. You can say calling is same only, but defining is different here. Is it clear?
yes, teacher, clear.
Let's say, let's take two more examples. Let's say this number A, function name A, or let's say AO. Okay, if lambda we can use, let's say this function will have this x a number here. And what we are doing, we are just adding x plus 10. So we are adding plus 10 in this x here. And we can print here, simple. We can call the function and then we can provide 5. So 5 plus 10, 15. So this 5 will replace by x. And 5 plus 10, 15. So you will see 15 here. Okay.
Mhm.
So this a is a variable, which is a function name we are calling. And then this x is a value here. Okay. X is a parameter and 5 is an argument of x. And what kind of operation we are performing? X plus 5. 5, sorry, x plus 10. 10 plus, sorry, 5 plus 10, 15. Like this.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's say I just wanted to return first name and last name. Okay, so I can create another function. Let's say function equal lambda. Let's say this will take first name, comma, last name of the user and simply return the first name, comma, last name. That's it. Let's call the function. Function name is function, funcy, and let's print the first name and the last name like this. If I run this one, there's an error here. And name is not defined. Um, why? I think um, we cannot use two variable at a time. That is why. We can use only one variable at a time. That is why we can use b here. Okay, b.
Mhm.
We can plus use plus here. Okay. So you will see Babaji. Okay. My name plus my last name. So you can see
Mhm.
we cannot use two variable at a time, like B or C or D like this. We can use only one variable, but we can perform operation with multiple variables. We can add one A, B, C like this, and so on. Okay. So that is why they are like very limited. For printing my name, I have to add numbers A plus B like this. I can put a space here before my last name like this one. So you will see my first name and my last name like this. But I cannot put a comma here, comma and like this. This will throw the error. Okay.
Mhm.
So there are like very many limitations here, which we have to keep on, we have to focus on. Okay. Let's see with another variable, add number equal. And this lambda here. Let's see with this A, comma B, comma C. Now what I can do is I can plus these number, I can minus these number, I can do any operation here. But I cannot print these number like this one. A, comma B, comma C. This is not possible. But I can plus these number. So I can simply print the name and then 1, 2, 3. Number A. Okay. So 6 here. But if I want to print A, B, and C, I cannot because they are like multiple parameters and multiple arguments. That is why. But I can perform any operation here. So that is why lambda is mainly for performing the small operations, small mathematical operations, which we can use anywhere, which we can put anywhere. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher, clear.
Okay. Then we have one more concept, which is again very complex, which is known as recursion. Recursion. Now, what is recursion? Recursion functions are the functions which is calling itself. Okay, we can write here functions calling itself. Okay, now let me first write, then I will explain. Let's say we have a function of factorial. Okay, def factorial. I have this function. Now, what a factorial? Let me show you with the help of an example. See, factorial. Factorial is like whenever, let's say we have this number 7. Okay, so number 7 means 1 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 into 7. Okay, like 1 multiplied by 2 into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is factorial. Okay, that is known as factorial. Now, let's say I want you to create a number. Let's say the user will print a number. Let's say the user applied 5 here. So now I want to calculate the factorial of 5. What is factorial of 5? 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5. Okay, so this is factorial of 5. Now, how we can create factorial of 5? So first we have to check a number. If x is equal to 1, then simply return 1, because what is the factorial of 1? The factorial of 1 is 1 only. So that is why we are returning 1 only. Okay, because if you use 1, so 1 is 1 only. The factorial of 1 is 1. The factorial of 2 is 1 into 2. Okay, the factorial of 3 is 1 into 2 into 3, like this. So if the x is 1, so return 1. But if the x is not 1, then else. So what we have to do here, we have to keep on iterating over the numbers. Okay, so what we can do, I can return simply. Okay, I can return here x multiply by. Okay, x means your number multiply by. Again, I am calling my function factorial. And again, I am using here x minus 1. Simple. And then I can take x, like I can call my factorial, let's say factorial of 2 here. So what is factorial of 2? 2 only. What is factorial of 3? Let me first check it. Factorial of, let's say, 5. 125, 120. Because factorial of 5 is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Which is, you can calculate 5 into 4, 20. 20 into 6.
Mm-hmm.
6 into 120. Okay. So now how are we performing this operation and what is recursion here? This part is known as recursion. Why? See, this function name is factorial. Okay, and this statement is inside my function. So my function is calling itself. This is outside of the function. This is actual calling. This is calling. This we can forget for now. Here I am calling my function inside my function. So this line says calling inside, calling function inside the function. That is why it is known as recursion. Why recursion? Because we are calling function inside function. This factorial is again, it is a function name. Okay, factorial is my function name, but I am calling this function inside the function. Okay, you can see we are inside the function. So that is why this is known as recursion. Now, what is the use of recursion? Or what is recursion here? Recursion is function calling itself. So you can see we can use recursion in many cases, and it is like quite complex. Now, how this function is working? First, with this factorial and x, it is taking one parameter x, and value of this parameter is 5. Now, first we are checking if x is equal to 1. So x is not 1, x is 5, right? X is 5 here. So this will not print, this line will execute. And this line says, you can think of if you want to take an intuition, you can think of it as a while loop. What is while loop? In the while loop, we keep on iterating until the condition becomes false, right? Same as with this factorial, sorry, recursion. Recursion is like keep on iterating. Iterating means keep on running until this condition, this is my condition, it becomes false. Now, how this condition becomes false? Because of this x minus 5, sorry, 1. So we are keep on subtracting 1 from the x. Okay, for example, now what is the current value of x? 5 into. Now we're calling the factorial again. Factorial. So factorial is here. And what is x here? X is 5. 5 minus 4. Sorry, 5 minus 1, 4. Which is 4 here, like this. Okay, which is here I can write factorial of 4. Like this. Why 4 here? Because x minus 1 is 5. Sorry, x is 5. X minus 1 is 4. Then we will keep, now this is we are calling again. So when you call the function, you will again come into this part. Now what is x becomes? X is 4 now. X is 4 now. 4 multiplied by again factorial. We are calling the function again. Now what is 4? X is 4. 4 minus 1, 3. X become 3 here. Then here you can see we are calling again factorial of 3. So again, we will reach to here because we are calling again. So now here, what is x becomes 3. 3 multiplied by, we are calling the again, which is factorial. Now what is 3? X 3, 3 minus 1, 2 here. Okay, so it becomes 2. Now we are calling again. Factorial of 2 is here. We will move to 2 and x is 2 now. 2. Multiply by. We are calling again. Factorial of 1. Because what is x? 2, 2 minus 1, 1. Now here we are checking if x is 1 or not. Now x becomes 1. You can see x become 1. So we will stop here and here we will return 1. Which means now we will multiply all together. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That comes 120. That is how this recursion is working. It is same as while, but again it is different. Like if you want to take a example, then it is same as while. The factorial will keep on running until this condition becomes true. Which means if x is 1, then the factorial, then this loop will stop. You can see it is same like loop only. We are running one time, second time, third time, fourth time, and fifth time. So it is same as loop only. So let me show you an example. Okay. So we will move to Python tutor. So let me show you in the animated format how this is working. If I edit and if I have this one. Okay, now I will just visualize the execution. Okay, now you will keep on focusing this arrow here, this particular red arrow. So I will start with next here. Okay, now you can see after this one, nothing happens. This is my line of code. But when I click on next, this red arrow will jump to line number 10. Why? As I said, this function is useless until you call it. So this one is useless. So we have to find where the user is calling. So we are calling here. So that is why first call is here. Okay, the main call, we can say main calling is here. So that is why after checking the first file, now the Python says, okay, it is a function. So we have to find where it is calling. Okay, so that is why it is moving to line number 10 here. Now you can see factorial here, factorial. Okay, of x. Now it will move to function number 1. It is like first Python will check the name of the function factorial. So Python will ignore all these lines because it is function defining. Function defining is useless until we call it. So Python will find the next line Python will find is to call the function, which is here. Now Python sees, okay, the user is calling a function. Which function? Factorial. So that is why Python will move to function number again, factorial. Because we are calling, and what is the name of the function? Factorial. So we reach to factorial here again. You can see, if I click on next, you will see we are reached to again here, factorial. Now it will check for the condition. So now the next line, it will come here, this one, this line. It will check if x is 1 or not. So x is not 1, you can see x is 5 here. Currently x is 5. So this line will not execute. This will not execute because this condition is false. So this line will execute next, else here. Okay, this line. Else line. If I click on next, you will see else line. Inside else we have this line here written. This line. Now this same. Now here you can see x. What is x here? If I click on next, you can see x
Sure.
becomes 4. Why x becomes 4? Because 5 minus 1 is 4. As I said here, 5 minus 1 is 4 here. But when I put 4 here, I am calling my function again factorial. That is why you can see my arrow again move to line number 2, which is calling of the function, sorry, defining of the function factorial. Because we are calling here factorial. So this call will move to line number 2. And if I click on next, it will check again. It will check again if x is 1 or not. If not, then it will again apply this x. Now x is 3 here. Why x is 3? Because 4 minus 1, 3 here. Then we are calling again. When x is 3, we are calling again because factorial. X minus 1 is 3. So we are calling again. Now x is 3. So again we will check. Okay. We will check. And then x becomes 2 here. You can see x becomes 2 here because 3 minus 1, 2. Then we will click on next. X becomes 1 here. Okay, now x is 1. Now now it will check for this condition and it will return 1 here. Because now x becomes 1. You can see x becomes 1 here. So next, x becomes 1 here. You can see return value 1. Now it will move in the reverse order. It will multiply 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. It will multiply. So if I click on next, you can see 1 into 2, 2. 2 into 3, 6. You will see 6 here. 2 into 3, 6. 6 into 4, 24. You will see 24. 24 into 5, 120. You will see 120. And then I will click on next for printing the 120. So now you can see after looping, after setting all the numbers, it is again moving reverse order, which is multiplying all the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I show you again, so I will click on next. This is a function. First is 5, second becomes 4, then 3, okay, then 2, then 1. After 1, we have this one return 1 because x becomes 1. So now we are returning 1. Then we will start with 1 into 2, 2 into
Mm-hmm.
3, 3 into 4, and 4 into 5. And last we have this 120. This is
Mm-hmm.
how the factorial is working. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher. Very clear. Thank you.
It is like a very kind of a very extravagant, complex topic. This example
Mm.
is very simple, but we will solve some example, okay, later on, so that this concept will become clear. Main
Yes,
thing
teacher.
is you have to remember that we are calling function inside function. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's so. Any questions up to here from
No,
anywhere?
no, teacher. No questions.
Okay. So let's wrap the session here. In the next session, we will solve the questions on functions. So I will share
Yes.
some questions. Okay, it is not compulsory to solve. Try to solve it. Just check it
Yes.
out. Just get familiar with the questions, find the
Mm.
meaning of the questions, and that's it. If you are
Yes.
unable to solve, that is okay. Because we haven't done any questions yet. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
unable to solve, that is okay. Okay,
Okay,
and also
teacher.
please share me the file of those answers so that I can review and then we will solve those questions in the next session.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay. Any questions?
No, teacher.
Okay, so rest. We will continue in the next session. Thank you.
Yes, teacher. Thank you.